Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is that you inky savages are joining us for episode number 160 of the PenBoyRoy Pentertainment Podcast. A lot of updates. Sorry about last week. Life keeps getting in the way. Things keep popping up.
We're just busy guys.
Busy
guys.
dudes. But what I'm looking forward to, not only is this episode and talking to you about some stuff, but I'm looking forward to this Saturday. Unfortunately, my good friend, Mr. Odd Oink, he won't be able to go with us to the, whatever it's called, Pen Show this weekend. What's it called?
The New York Metropolitan Pen Show.
Yes, the New York Metropolitan Pen Show is this Saturday and Sunday, the 22nd and the 23rd. Admission, I think, is like $12 for one day, $20 for both days. Anyway, the last time they had it was in August, but that was to make up for missing it the previous April, so now they're sticking to the April schedule, so we're going to have it this Saturday and Sunday. I'm bringing some friends. I'm looking forward to it. All my friends are looking forward to it.
Any repeats from last time?
Repeats? What do you mean?
Like, are you bringing back anybody that you had last time?
Yeah, my friend Jimmy, but this time I'm also bringing Jimmy and Brian. And my friend, Brian. Not anybody knows. He's a newer pen enthusiast, but he dove straight into the rabbit hole, so he's coming. We're looking forward to it.
This
It's going to be a lot of fun.
attracts Brian's, like...
Yes, there's so many Brians in the industry.
So many Brians.
Yeah, so we're all going to be going together. It's going to be lots of fun. I hope I see you guys there. So make sure you check out the New York Metropolitan Pen Show, formerly known as the Long Island Pen Show. They're not sponsoring anything, but I do want to see you guys there, and if you guys see me, please come up and say hello. I'll probably be wearing this t-shirt. I will wash it before I go. It's the last remaining t-shirt that I have of the PenBoyRoy Fountain Pen Review Channel t-shirts. So I'll be there. Similar attire. I hope I see you guys there. Don't be shy.
Hard to miss.
Come up and say hello. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I am going to actually make some purchases this time. Cool. I think last time I bought something also. I think I'm going to go with a wad of cash, leave all the credit cards at home.
Oh, no.
That's what I suggest everybody else do for this pen show. I'm not really into vintage stuff. I'll take a look around, but we'll see. We'll see who's there. I know Kenro Industries is going to be there.
Dangerous knowledge for those other vendors right now. They're just salivating right now. They want to take some PenBoyRoy cash. They want it to be spent that way. Yeah.
But so this is the week of April 17th. Today is Wednesday, and you guys are. I just want you guys to know that all the purchases you're making off of the affiliate link using coupon code. What was the coupon code this week?
Coupon code was the previous one was beta.
Okay.
And then the one we're doing now is Garfield.
Coupon code Garfield, as in Garfield the cat. My cat.
Yes.
My cat is an orange cat named Garfield. Is that him looking through the window door?
It would be amazing if he was like peeking through as he heard his name. Like,
so for everybody watching, I don't know if you can see, but on all the doors in our houses, we have these clear cat doors. You can lock them. So I lock them for the podcast, but this way they can come in and out freely through all the doors except the bathroom in the house. And yeah, when we bought the place, we had these doors specially made. It's the cutest thing when they walk through them. Anyway, use coupon code Garfield at the affiliate link. That gives you access to additional discounts on a lot of the products on the Gold Spot website. But please use the affiliate link so that way you help out this channel and you help out the podcast and everything Pentertainment related. Now, for the week of April 17th, Bryce wrote out a read. I'm going to read it, and I'm going to try to be as performative as possible. Okay, you ready?
Do it.
It is with great excitement that Platinum debuts a new ink unlike anything on the market today. It's called Chu Kuro. Chu Kuro is the blackest ink ever created from Platinum in its 104-year history. An ink that is blacker than black and 46.8% darker than Platinum's famous Carbon Black. This new permanent ink from Platinum is going to set the new standard of what is possible from permanent black ink in the fountain pen market. I'm actually, really excited about that because I really only use black ink, and I only use permanent inks because I still write checks and stuff like that.
Yes.
And I don't want some scum piece of dirt fishing mail and checks that I wrote from mailboxes and then lifting the ink and rewriting the check, because that happens so much. And with permanent black inks like the Platinum Black or Noodler's Black or now the Chu Kuro, apparently it's so dark it'll just suck the light out of the atmosphere.
I think it should be able to pull in on itself all of the matter around it like a black hole would.
Exactly. They should just call it black hole instead of Chu Kuro. Chu Kuro almost sounds like churro, and it's just, even though I'm keto, it makes me want a churro. But anyway, this ink will be released in a limited edition set of 1,000 units first. The limited edition set will include, so there's 5 bullets here, Chu Kuro bottle ink with an ink reservoir. I don't know what that means or what it looks like. 1 silver converter, okay. 1 cleaning purified water of 250 milliliters. What? 1 cleaning dropper and 1 instruction manual. Oh, I'm glad they're including the instruction manual. What? They're including a bottle of water? Like, just in case you're thirsty during your cleaning? Like, what?
Just in case you get a little, I guess you get a little thirsty from playing around with so much dark black ink.
Does the ink suck the water out of the atmosphere? So you gotta, I mean,
it just may end up corrupting your soul. It's so black.
Right. So, okay, so you get the ink, a converter, you get a bottle of water.
And supposedly there's only 1,000 of these sets being made.
But they're going to release more. It says it's going to release a limited edition set of 1,000 units first.
That's the first one, and then after that it will just be the ink and not the accoutrements that come with the ink.
Accoutrement. Now, can you drink the water?
I don't know. It's chancy. Very, very risky.
But why are they including all this cleaning stuff and a converter? Like, do you have, like, is it just in case you want to eyedrop a pen and you need to clean an eyedropper pen? And is there something special about this water?
That kind of makes you a little bit nervous, because it's like, well, if you need purified water, cleaning purified water to go along with this ink, do you think it's going to be that type of ink that is going to be kind of dicey to put in a pen and it may stain the pen?
No, I don't think so.
You start to ask questions.
I don't think so, because then they would have given you a cleaning solution. Right? Yeah. I just think it's a bizarre thing to include with an ink bottle set. Like the ink bottle with ink reservoir, that's cool. A silver converter, great, because, you need a converter for your platinum pens. Instruction manual, well, that wouldn't be necessary if they didn't include the water and then the cleaning dropper. It's just, excuse me, it feels kind of random. You know what I mean?
It feels a little extra. It feels a little forced. It does.
Yeah. Like, it's kind of like if they just included, like, I don't know, a banana. Like, a silver converter, a banana. I mean, it's like, what? Why? And how is this water different from any, like, why can't I use my tap water? Right?
Yeah, that makes me scratch my head there. I
don't
know why. I'm sure. I think there's maybe some possibly lost in translation, because I've not seen the set myself yet. I've only seen the marketing material behind it, and Bryce sums it up there as well as he possibly could. So I'm not sure if maybe something a little bit gets lost in translation, and maybe it is more of like a cleaning solution to maintain your pens. Or I don't know. So
but like, is it proprietary purified water? Is it, we got to get him on and have him clarify this shit.
think it's water that's harvested from the waters around Mount Fuji. I'm probably guessing. No, I'm just joking. But that would be cool if it was.
I would drink it. I don't know. So yeah, get the bottle of ink that comes with a bottle of water and a cleaning dropper, instruction manual, and a converter. I mean, forget all that stuff. I love the fact that it's a permanent ink, and I love that it's super black. Like, how do you get blacker than carbon black?
Apparently you can.
Like, I'm afraid that as soon as I start writing, the darkness of the ink is gonna, like, suck the souls out of my eyes.
Have you ever seen Vanta Black before?
No. What's that?
Vanta. Vanta Black is apparently this pigment that is so dark that nothing reflects off of it. It's just like it just will just sucks the light out of it. Just nothing. You'd see it painted on something, and it's black. Nothing can like it. There's no lightning part of it at all.
Well, I feel like that this ink is going to be so black that it's going to cause atmospheric changes by sucking in all of matter as soon as you open the bottle.
Could cause a runaway greenhouse effect with if people write enough with it, because then you have the papers with the black ink and black drawings and stuff, and all of a sudden it just starts heating up everywhere, and that's it.
Yeah, hold on a
We're
second.
done for.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in the ink. I definitely am going to get it just because I like really black ink, you know? So anyway, do you have the read in front of you?
Yes.
Can you continue so I can text Bryce?
Oh, with the creator?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is not something that is available right now at the moment, nor I think is going to be available until possibly, I would probably say until mid-June or so, but the new retractable pen from Endless, the creator, is here, but soon. Get your hands on this iconic pen for only $50 and see how Endless has changed the retractable fountain pen industry forever. Industry? I mean, like, I'm just going to say, like, I don't think there's an industry around retractable fountain pens. There is a fountain pen industry or a pen industry, but specifically retractable is more like a niche. But I understand where it's coming from.
Let's call it an industry. This pen, as soon as it hits the industry, is going to be 33% of the industry.
Really? It's going to be that big?
Yeah, because think about it. There's only two others. Now there's a third. Right?
That is true.
So
it's going to be the biggest part of
at least when it comes to retractable like this, and not like the Lamy. What's the Lamy one called?
Dialogue 3.
Dialogue 3.
CC.
Yeah. So at least there's that. So now you have 3 to choose from, which I think is really cool, and it's not in the hundreds, so it's only $50. That's what really excites me, and I really want to see how it writes. I really want this pen to do well.
Yeah.
And I really want it to be successful, because for someone to, I've been talking about an inexpensive retractable pen for a long time. Remember I was on the Gold Spot show one time and we were talking about that. I'm like, why don't they just make I can't remember what I was talking about. Was I talking about the Lamy 2000 with a steel nib and make it cheaper? Or was I talking about the Pilot making it with a steel nib and making it cheaper? And then Platinum came close.
Vanishing Point?
Yeah.
I think maybe it was that.
Yeah. But this is the solution. So let's cross our fingers and hope that it is good and
lives
it turns
up
out
to
really
the
well.
expectations. Hopefully it'll be serviceable. It's just, it does not need to be as brilliant and smooth and great of a pen as a Pilot Vanishing Point, because it's not really in the same league. I feel it's a quarter of a price of a Vanishing Point. So it could be serviceable and a decent, somewhat in the starter area. It's a little bit more pricier than a starter fountain pen, but still, for people who want to get into it and want the convenience of click action and don't want to fuss with a cap, this is going to be a nice entry-level point for
I agree.
pen enthusiasts.
And last but not least, I just want to talk about my good friend Neil over at brlcoffeeco.com. I'm a little disappointed. Feedback from Neil is that he's not getting a lot of sales from the podcast listeners. Yeah,
guys, this is a consumable
coupon code
product.
Yeah,
you need to have coffee in your life.
Yeah, the greatest mess coffee ever created in the history of anything ever created ever, with different roasts and caffeine contents that don't give you the crackhead
they don't believe
jitters.
you. They don't believe you.
If you don't believe me,
it's
make
the greatest
the purchase.
thing ever.
Exactly. Make the purchase. Use coupon code ROY for an additional savings on all of the products on the brlcoffeeco.com website, and make me look good to my buddy who's sending me lots of coffee and sponsoring this podcast. So anyway, brlcoffeeco.com. Be sure to use coupon code ROY at checkout so he knows that you guys are from the podcast listening, you awesome lovers of the podcast. Now, let's get on with this week's episode. I wish Bryce could get on right now because I want to grill him on this this bottle of water that comes with the ink and make fun of him and stuff. He's such a good sport. But anyway, before we get started with this week's episode of the podcast, I want to give you guys a quick disclaimer. This podcast is not scripted and therefore will contain body mouth words, both from Tom and I, mostly from me, so be forewarned. Now on to the podcast.
The PenBoyRoy Entertainment Podcast. Stay savage.
All right, so unfortunately, our good friend Bryce over at Luxury Brands cannot be on the show. He's not home right now to just jump onto a computer and join us. But we do have an explanation. Tom, during the intro, he researched it, and he's going to give us our answers on why there is a bottle of water and why you need to go to the pharmacy.
Yes. So the Chu Kuro apparently is so rich, so dark, has got components that react with tap water. So as per Platinum's PDF brochure on the new ink, it says instructions: when cleaning the pen nib after using Chu Kuro ink, use purified water available at pharmacies, etc. Avoid washing it with tap water as it reacts with minerals contained in the water and makes it difficult to remove the stains.
So are we talking about a Bay State Blue type situation?
I don't know if it's that severe, because maybe Platinum is just kind of covering themselves in the event that it might be a little bit more on the stainy side. It's hard to tell unless you actually just try it. And I would probably say this is something you could definitely try with a preppy. Just low stakes at first. Try it with a preppy, write with it, see how it performs, and then clean the preppy out. Use it like eyedropper it, I would probably say, and see if it's going to stain the inside of a preppy. If it does, and then you're using the purified water and it comes out or whatever, then well, if I throw this in a really nice demonstrator I have, I'm going to have to use the purified water or just be very careful with it. So
how big
that
of
would
a
be
bottle?
kind of the approach I would say.
How big of a bottle is 250 milliliters?
It would be, so if you could imagine like a Sailor ink bottle, something like this, this is like, it's 5 times the size of this. So this is 50 ml. So it'd be pretty substantial.
Can you look up what 50 milliliters turns into, what do you call it, ounces?
250 milliliter in ounces?
Mm-hmm.
That is 8.45 fluid ounces.
So they're giving you a cup of water.
Basically. Give me a cup of purified water.
Now, here's another question. So I wonder what minerals it is, and it doesn't say there on there, does it? What minerals that is in tap water? Because tap water is different from state to state and place to place. What minerals cause the reaction that is unfavorable?
I couldn't tell you.
Right.
Could not tell you.
I can tell you right now, this may put off a lot of people.
We might have a full-blown scandal on our hands.
Right. And I think that's why they're only doing 1,000 at first.
With the purified water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it may be, it's like they've achieved the darkest of the dark.
Right.
But in order to do so, they had to sell their souls, and now the pens will become stained every time you use them.
I mean, I don't think people are going to go for the whole, I have to go to the pharmacy to pick up purified water. Or, I mean, is distilled water good? Or Poland Spring purified water good? Like, do
something
I really
natural from a spring?
I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
my guess is probably distilled water that they're referring to. They're just not saying it, but I'm guessing that's what it is. Because it's something that's other than normal tap water, and that's as clean of a water as you could get. So,
and I'm wondering, what do I do with that 250 milliliters? Do I pour it into a cup and keep drawing it in and out, in and out, in and out, and then empty it, and then do it again until it runs clean?
Probably flush it at least at first. It's almost like a cleaning solution, you know.
But how do you clean your pens when you clean your pens? Don't you just run it under the tap water?
I would, but in this case, like let's say using the preppy as an example again, I would inject the purified water into the barrel, maybe put my thumb over the top of the barrel, shake it up, and then empty it out, and then see what happens then. If it's like completely gone, then maybe rinse it under tap water, and then, you know, but if there's still some remnant left over, maybe then soak it afterwards.
Are they saying
in the purified water?
that the minerals in the water will cause it to stain the pen?
I think that's what it. Yeah, that's what. From what I understand, that they might cause an issue with staining.
This is interesting. This makes it somewhat controversial. We'll have to see. I'm still getting the endless creator though.
Yeah, I think that's a must to get your hands on and try it, because I'm just curious to see how it stacks up with the Curidas and the Vanishing Point.
Yeah, I think that's. How do you feel about the ink that we're talking about?
The Chu Kuro?
Chu Kuro, yeah.
How do I know that you like the business type style inks because you use it primarily for work, and you like a black ink. I seldomly will reach for black inks because I feel like I need color. I need some sort of color, even if it's blue black or if it's a red black. If it's just, as long as it's not just standard black, I just have a hard time just reaching for a regular plain old black. And this, I mean, if I was, let's say, more into illustration and drawing and using it for that purpose and then laying watercolors or fountain penning colors over it, then I would be more into it. But if it's just a plain black and I'm writing with it, it doesn't really do much for me, just because of the fact that it's black, not because of the darkest stuff and all the other stuff that comes with it.
I mean, I like using Noodler's black because of its permanent component, and then I write stuff down and I want it to be permanent. Yep. I'm using that in my Titan. I love this pen.
Cool.
Yeah. Have you gotten the Titan?
Yeah, and I sold several pieces of it. It's it is a very nice. I got to play with it for a little bit, and then the one that I had to take a look at, it was like, oh, we need this one to be able to send out to a customer. It's like, all right, it was good because I didn't put any ink in it yet, so I was like, good. But yeah, it is tremendously heavy.
I wouldn't say it's tremendously heavy.
I think it's really heavy. Yeah,
no.
It feels very heavy.
To me, it doesn't feel heavy. It feels light. A metal pen this size would be heavier for sure. To me, it doesn't feel heavy. 100%. Yeah, I don't.
But it has a really nice texture, though. It feels like the texture is so like almost like it's so unique, like a Lamy 2000 texture, but it's like more. I feel like it's more powdery, soft. It's less like it's less like.
It feels like it's made of stone or concrete.
Yeah.
I really do enjoy this pen very much, and it almost feels like a Homo sapien. It definitely feels like a Homo sapien in my hands. I definitely like this pen, so I'm using Noodler's black in that because of the permanence and stuff and how dark it is. So I'm really looking forward to this Chu Kuro.
Yeah, churro.
Yeah. Coming up. I'm thinking it's going to be very interesting, but I am going to make sure that I'm not feeling like a Homo sapien with it. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be a pen that's on the less expensive side, something that I won't be heartbroken over if it is in fact stained or something.
Cartridge converter. That way, if the converter's completely messed up, you could always just replace that.
Yeah.
Or not even care about it because it's inside the pen. So if it's a little stained, it's not going to be a big deal.
Yeah. Have you heard of this? This pen here? This is...
Oh, that's the People of the World, right?
Yeah, the Monteverde People of the World. So I'm holding this pen. It's an acrylic pen with metal grips, threads, end finial, top finial. And it really does. I feel like it reminds me a whole lot of the giant sequoia.
I think, right? Yeah, it does look a lot like it too.
Yeah,
very similar.
So I like the acrylic choices. This pen here, for everybody watching, is the Monteverde People of the World Huli.
The Hulis.
Yeah. So I'm going to read just the first line. The people of Huli clan live in the Hela province and southern highlands of Papua New Guinea, the world's third largest island country that is inhabited with some of the planet's most extraordinary biodiversity. Okay, that's cool. Huli people believe that they are descendants of a male ancestor called Huli. Okay, that makes sense. Who was first to cultivate Huli's ancestral lands. The people of Huli believe in many different spirits that they call I'm getting old, man. Damia. These spirits inhabit the sky, rivers, forests, and mountains, and have full control over the land and climate. Period. Oh no period, comma. Fertility
They really
of the
don't.
soil
They don't
and
do you
livestock.
any favors. Yafa does with putting all of that text at like 0.6 font size, and then it's a giant paragraph. It's not separated into separate paragraphs. It's just one giant run-on sentence.
Yeah. The traditional attire of the Huli people is considered to be the most colorful in the country. Men of Huli tribes are known for spending lots of time on decorating their bodies, faces, and hair. The prominent yellow-red face coloring is one of the most famous identifiers of the Huli men. The Otre, Red Day, and Ambuya, Yellow Day, are sacred, traditional coloring materials that are used for face painting. The upper part of the face painted yellow color, meanwhile the lower part is painted red. The combination of these two colors creates an incredible, unique contrast that appears stunningly beautiful and empowering on men of the Huli people. I can't read this anymore. It's just too small, and I'm straining my eyes. And
I am really surprised that you made it that far.
Look at this. Like, if for everybody watching, you have a card. What's the size of this card? I'm going to use my... This is not sponsored by Monteverde. I just happen to have all this stuff around me. The Monteverde tool pen. It's 2 by what looks like 5. It's a 2 by 5 card with like 8 billion letters on it. Man, I can't... Am I getting old and I can't see it?
You remember back in the day when, let's say, a teacher would give you like the cheat notes?
But that's a picture. Sorry, hold that thought. That's a picture of the painting, the face paint that men have of the Huli tribe, and it's their whole face is yellow with red stripes, and under their eyes, above their lips, and on their nose. It actually looks really cool. So I do want to thank my good friend Neve over at Yafa Brands for sending this over. It's sturdy feeling pen. I got a gripe about it though, and we'll talk about it after you finish what you were saying about when we were in school.
Yes, when we were in school and the teacher would allow you for a test to write all the notes that you wanted to, but it had to be on a 3 by 5 index card, and you could cram in as much as you want to, but you can't use any more than a 3 by 5 index card, thinking that you're only going to put maybe a few bullet points on there and that's it. But for those who are intrepid and know how to play the game, you're going to fit paragraphs of text on that 3 by 5 index card. You're gonna fit as much as you possibly can on that. That's what it reminds me of. That's what that card reminds me of. It's just the fact that you could fit so much information at like 0.6 font size and then throw it on there. You know
what's going to end up happening is, because of Monteverde, in 1,000 years, they're going to find this card, and they're going to think that we had super, super fucking crazy eyesight. And they're like, oh, people in the year 2023 were able to read microscopic fucking lettering because that's how they printed it, right? Like, if you go to, like, these old cathedrals, like the Cathedral of Notre Dame and all this stuff, right? And you look at the stained glass windows that are, like, 8,000 feet suspended in the air, and underneath the stained glass depiction of the church history, there's a little Latin description of the picture, and the letters are literally like super small, that people now are looking at it and they're like, how did anybody read this? So historians hypothesize that back then people's eyesight was just better. So that there's no way to 100% prove that, but that's a consistent thing with churches and stuff like that. The lettering was small, and it was intended for people to read, so they would look at it 8,000 feet above them and be able to read it, right? Now, we're misleading the future.
We can't read this.
With this information card, they're going to assume we had fantastic eyesight, which we don't. And I really want to read the rest of it, but it's giving me a migraine.
But instead of that, you tell me your gripe. What is your gripe about that?
Oh, so I like the pen. I like the pen and everything like that. I haven't inked it up, but if you look at the center band, do you see where it says Huli on it?
Yes, and I see that it's just off to the left a little bit.
Yeah, they didn't center the center band.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, my God. They didn't. I mean, just listen to what I just said. I didn't even realize I said it. They didn't center,
They didn't center the center band.
the fucking center band. It's come on. But you know what? All right, so it's not perfect. It has a stainless steel Yovo nib. I wonder why they decided to go for the metal grip. With an acrylic pen, why did you go for the metal grip? Why not just go for an acrylic grip? Even if you did the metal section, this metal thread section, that's fine. But what about the metal? Why the metal grip? I don't know why they would do that.
Yeah.
What was the reasoning behind that?
I'm always like questioning when you have especially a really nice, beautiful resin pen, why go with a metal grip section? Because I feel that only not breaks up the design visually, but for people who, it's because like metal grip sections are not, I feel, liked by the majority.
Right.
I think majority
usually
of
people don't like it.
Yeah, usually people are like, oh, my fingers slip on them. I feel like I can't really hold them as well, and it's not as warm and as inviting as a resin or ebonite grip section. And usually it's you would hear the moans and the complaints when you would see a resin pen that has a metal grip section.
Right, yeah.
So I don't understand, especially when it has such a nice resin that they use throughout the rest of the pen, why couldn't that just carry forward through? I mean, I would understand maybe with the threads for the cap, that's understandable, especially if there's like metal threads in the cap itself. But when it comes to the rest of the grip section, it should really be resin.
So here's something interesting. Well, first of all, for everybody watching, if you're not watching, I'll do my best to describe it. So it's got these thick patches of blue swirls, and then thick patches of red swirls and marks, and then in between yellow. And what I love about the design of this pen is if you look at the blue swirls have a fantastic depth and chatoyance to it, whereas the red and the yellow parts are just flat. You know what I mean by flat?
Yeah.
That means it's not at all chatoyant. You can't see through it. It doesn't have any depth. But the juxtaposition, is that the right word, Tom? Of all the colors that are not blending into each other, but they're just like separated, really makes the blue stand out. It's such an interesting and beautiful looking pen. It's not your typical pen. It's not for everybody. Somebody will look at this and be like, hey, that looks strange. I don't like all those colors. Right? And that's not a knock to any people or any of the people that it represents. I'm talking about the pen alone. So I really love that. I love that they accented the top and the bottom end caps with metal. And it's complemented by the clip that's also metal. Now, here's another thing. The center band that's not centered is black and the lettering is silver. That's not a mistake. I feel like that was certainly intentional.
Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. It's
it
different.
Does. It looks very cool. And I think that it really complements the fact that the separation between the blue, yellow, and reds on the pen are outlined in black. It's like they traced out the colors, and it's really cool. I really think this is a fantastic pen. I'm going to ink this up and use it tomorrow if I can just stop being a dick and get past the fact that the Huli is not lined up with the clip. Oh, God, what in the actual wet fuck? Why? Of all the detail that went into this pen, and I can tell you that there's a lot of detail and a lot of thought when they designed it, did they not fucking think about the basic fundamentals of making sure that the center band is lined up?
I'm sure that you try to encourage it enough that center band will start to move.
No, but then that's going to
force.
unepoxy the center band, and then that'll spin around, and that will drive me nuts. But the acrylic on the pen barrel and the cap is not thin. It's a beefy, thick wall of acrylic. If you can,
much like the Sequoia, because the Sequoia also had a thick
this
acrylic
pen
wall
for
to
some
that pen.
reason definitely feels more dense, more beefy. So I would say, okay, so I'm looking at this Monteverde tool pen, and I'm stupid, so I don't know what the measurement is, but the thickness of the wall of the pen is one of these notches on the inch. So whatever the fucking measurement that is.
You, sir, are obviously not a golfer.
Right. Like what is the fucking measurement? Is that a centimeter? A millimeter? Like the inch is divided up into 1, 2. Hold on.
Exactly. It depends on how many little hash marks there are on there. That depends
5,
on
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1/16 of an inch.
There you go.
Okay. And then they have these other measurements on the Monteverde tool pen, but I'm not sure which one is a millimeter. And like, it says 1/200 M, and then there's 1/100 M. Do you know what those measurements are?
1/100 M. I'm guessing that they are referring to centimeters, I suppose.
I don't know, man. Anyway, it's 1/16 of an inch, but it's a thick wall. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are free to make fun of how dumb I am, and don't worry, I won't be butthurt. It's totally true. You're probably gonna write in an email. You, sir, are a fucking idiot. I will reply to you. You are correct.
You are correct.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention or do well in math when I was a kid, so I had ADHD and I was scratching my balls and staring out the window and trying to look up girl skirts when I was in grammar school. So
damn,
that was me. Wasn't able to focus, so I don't know anything about geometry. That would be considered geometry, right?
It would just be measuring things.
Measuring shit.
Yeah,
Tell you what, though, the Monteverde tool pen certainly does come in handy when I need to like randomly just measure shit, and I'm like, I can't find a fucking ruler, but then there's a Monteverde tool pen sitting next to me. I'm talking a lot about Monteverde today. It's just it happened. So you can't see the rest of my desk in my office, but in my office, this is my office. You can't see it because it's not on screen, but I have a new 5-gallon tank sitting on my desk. With
is it empty or
it has a bed of fish in it, and live plants. It has a grass carpeting of Java moss with a Nubius batari glued to some stone, and some cryptocoreans buried into the gravel. So it looks nice, very simple. And what happened was, by the way, this is a rainbow Monteverde tool pen.
You got the rainbow version.
Yeah,
very nice.
I like it. It's very, very pretty. But what happened was I was at Fish World USA in the Whitestone Shopping Center. And what had happened was I was just looking around at like different things to buy and stuff because, you know, I love fish keeping as much as I love fountain pens. Though I got to tell you, fish keeping there's more at stake, right? Because you're not just playing with pens. You fuck up a pen, you can replace it. You fuck up a fish, they're dead, and their lives are never. You can't recover the dead life, right? Yes. So as I'm walking by, I see this white fish with all like dark pink fins, like every fin, the top fin, the bottom fin, the swimmy fins, the dangling fins, and the tail fin. I should know these, being such a pen.
Again, biology class. You were just,
right. Right. And he has a all white body, and he was so hyper in the tank, like it's almost as if like he was calling out to me. And I saw that fish, and I was like looking at him, like he's so energetic, he's so like fresh and clean and cute looking. And I'm like, I gotta get him. But I'm like, no, I can't. So I left. 2 days later, I went back with a colleague from work, and what had happened was I established a 10-gallon tank a couple of weeks ago and cycled the tank for the office, for everybody in my office to be able to see, because I have Kratos, the 5-gallon tank, on my desk, and after I did that, everybody was getting fish envy, right?
Yes. So
I agreed. I said, okay, so I'll establish a tank for the office, and we'll have a fish in the office, and everybody was like excited about it. So I went there with a colleague, and at that moment in time, I saw that fish still there. And on the way to the store, I said to myself, if that fish is still there, then I will pull the trigger on the fish. And lo and behold, guess what?
Fish was still there.
Fish was still there.
And it made a sign for you. It says, "Please, Roy, adopt me."
No, but so what ended up happening, I said to Constantine, he's the guy who works there, really nice guy. I said, "Hey, Constantine, can you do me a favor? I'm going to buy 5 of these glowfish for my office tank. But I'm also going to buy this beta here. He's a plakat. Is there any way I can pay for it and then come pick them up after work?" So he said, "Yeah, sure, no problem." So I purchased the fish and left them there. And then after work, I came and picked them up. And I have no regrets. None whatsoever.
So they were able to put that fish on hold for you.
Oh, yeah. I paid for them, so why not,
Nice.
right?
Yeah.
And then I probably should have, told my wife about it before I did it. But obviously, me being me, I did
Well, isn't
not.
this tank supposed to be in your office instead? Not your home office, but your office office? Isn't
No.
this 10-gallon
So what
tank
ended up
supposed to be
happening
there?
was I wanted to establish a shrimp dedicated tank. But the shrimp kept dying. And then I realized it's because my general hardness and carbonate hardness in the water wasn't established. And then I'm like, that's a science that I'm not ready for. So the shrimp that were dying came from the big tank behind me. They're doing fine in there. So apparently that hardness is fine. So I put them back in there in that breeder box, hanging there, so that way Dr. Evil doesn't eat them, which he did this morning. Oh, it was so traumatizing. So yeah, Dr. Evil had himself a shrimp buffet this morning. I felt so bad about it. So what happened was I ended up, putting the new fish in there. He looks just like Kratos at work, but instead of dark red fins and white swimmy fins, his are all pink, and I can't think of a name. I don't know.
Oh, you still don't have a name.
I haven't named him, but I don't know what I should name him. Maybe we should do a giveaway for name suggestions. Whoever is the winning name wins.
We had
something.
also housekeeping item. We had that giveaway with the Bryce fish thing. For
Oh
the
yeah.
endless
Did you pick a winner?
companion. No, I didn't pick a winner because I didn't even I don't even recall seeing, because I've been logging into Instagram every once in a while, and I get buried with all of the notifications about the 30 inks 30 days stuff that get posted
Right.
in. So
I don't think
see,
anybody entered.
for that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it wasn't. The congratulations, Bryce. I think there was only one person, and I think that one person wins.
Yeah, you may want to check your stories, because I think you did share that post as a story on Instagram. The person that
I think he
entered.
was the only one though.
So
Yeah, and there was-
I'm trying to, but there's the thing with stories is that they disappear after 24 hours for everybody else but the person that, because you could see the history of your stories on Instagram.
Yeah,
so
and I looked
might
at my
wanna-
notifications, and nobody tagged me in anything. But I'll look it up right now, because if this is the only the one guy, first of all, come on, people, you don't want free shit.
Well, I think people are going to definitely want to name this new fish, because this fish will be part of your fish lore, and will be topics of future podcast episodes and whatnot. So this fish has an important title to bestow upon it.
Right. So let's see. Oh yeah, so it was I dipped bananas in coffee. You won the pen case.
I dip bananas in coffee.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'll have to reach out. Actually, just today, Rook Coffee in Monmouth County here in New Jersey introduced a banana toffee cold brew style, and I tell my wife this morning, I'm like, you know what? I'm actually gonna try it. As weird as it sounds, because I've been doing smoothies for myself in the morning where I'll use frozen bananas as the base of the smoothie, and I've thrown just regular cold brew in with the smoothie with the frozen bananas, and I'm warming up to it. And then I had this banana toffee cold brew, which didn't have any extra sweetener. It just was banana toffee style, it's just the cold brew with a little bit of oat milk, and it was really good.
Yeah.
I really like it. So I as weird as it sounds, I dip bananas in coffee, which is the username of the person who won. I'm on board. You won me you won me over. That's
So what does he win? I forgot what the giveaway was.
The endless companion. The 3-pen
you get the 3-pen case made of leather, which is a fantastic case. I love what he wrote on the post. He wrote, "I dip bananas in coffee, all one word, hoping people get the reference. If not, I will look silly." Yeah. I wonder what the comments said. There's only one comment. So the ink he used is Colorverse Glue On. I wonder what pen it is, though. It looks cool, whatever that pen is. It's like a piston filler pen with a clear body, but a metal cap.
Metal cap.
Yeah, it doesn't say what pen. Yeah. And he drew a little fish at the bottom. That's great.
So for this giveaway for the fish naming ceremony, I think we just need to like post something on Instagram and then just have people comment on it, or maybe they email us directly, whichever. Or I guess maybe because we're announcing on the podcast, we get people sending emails directly into the podcast. That would
Yeah,
be
we'll
the
just
most direct
do
way.
that. But I'm really having trouble thinking of a name. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think this could be crowdsourced.
Yeah.
This certainly could be crowdsourced.
I'll have to post a picture of it and say I need a new name for this fish.
A picture would probably help visually to inspire, for sure. But I mean, just in general, if people know you and they know the fish names that you've chosen before, they may have some good ideas right off the bat that, it might be just something within the similar themes of...
Right. And it can't be Kratos because Kratos is taken already. So he's a white fish with all like dark pink/red. Do you have your phone in front of you? I just sent you a picture.
You sent me a picture.
Yeah.
You sent me a fish pic.
Yeah, fish
Let's
pic.
see. Let's see this fish pic.
It's a very beautiful fish.
Oh, very nice.
Right? You like that thing? So the tank that I use is the Aqueon Mini Bow 5. It's a mini 5-gallon tank with a bow front, which is really cool.
What's the little stuffed animal on top? The little like Beanie Baby thingy.
That's this thing right here. That's the little turtle I got from Puerto Rico.
Oh,
Because
okay.
the top of the lid has a cutout. It has like an opening. The opening is about 1.5 by 2 3/4 of an inch.
So you're afraid of an escape route being available?
Yeah, I'm afraid he's gonna jump out. So I put the little stuffed animal on top of it to block the hole, and that'll stop him from jumping out. And even if he does hit the jump, even if he does hit the jump button, even if he does jump out, he'll hit the stuffed animal and fall back in, because I don't want what happened to Bryce's fish. We called him Wolverine because of his colors.
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen to my fish. Bryce came back over the weekend, and the little guy jumped out of a tank with an opening of about 1 centimeter. I was like, holy shit, dude. Talk about unlucky. It was a $50 fish he got from JV Bettas. I felt bad for him. But speaking of fish and pens, I'm looking at the Novelar future releases, and
the pictures, teasers that they showed on there.
yeah, with the different fishes. I swear to God, they ripped off my idea, and I'm not just saying that, which was you got to have an aquarium fish, like fish release, a line of fish pens pens based off of fish. Yeah, and I remember I told him that when I came to Goldspot when we did the Mozart pen. Right? Remember, or was that the day that Frank was there?
Oh, when we did the...
Don't you remember we went out, Karen, myself, Frank came, you were there, Sal was there. We all ate actual food. I had like 6 eggs. He had like cheesecake. Don't you remember? Yeah, we took a picture, you and I. I think it was the Mozart day, the day we launched the Mozart pen.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
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 It was the day I gave him the big fish tank.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I kept talking to him about having like a fish line, a line of fish. I even talked to Neve about it because I wanted him to make an ink line of fish colors and stuff like that. And it's like now they're doing it, but they stole my idea. I don't want to say stole ideas. I don't want to say ripped off because that's not what they did. I'm not Twisby. I'm not accusing him of ripping people off.
Well, with Novel or Narwhal since the beginning has been...
That's
all
true.
about...
It's fish based to begin.
Yeah,
and
because
And on top of that, Frank has been into fish keeping longer than I have. He's always been a fish keeper, so it's not stealing my idea. I'm not getting petty like Twisby is. But
yeah, they've kind of kept to that, and usually, it's kind of odd when it breaks from that. Like, let's say doing like the Year of the Tiger pen that they did, or the Jade Rabbit. It just it's like well, it's not nautical, it's not aquatic, it's not mythological, things that swim around the sea. But I guess you kind of have to expand outwards if you're going to be a pen brand. Like, it just can't be this one particular niche, because obviously you're going to run out of, I think, ideas at a certain point.
Yeah, but I do want him to do a line of the Goldfish series, where it's like different color pens to match like the goldfish, like the Blackmore telescope eye goldfish, beautiful fish. It's got the egg-shaped body with the bulging eyes, and then the fan tails and stuff like that. They're jet black, so that would be a cool pen, or the calico fancy goldfish, or I can't remember the name if I'm saying it right, but there's one, Arandas. They have like white and red, and then they have like the exposed brain. It's not really the brain; it just looks like a brain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They should do.
So
that.
I could actually, because I imagine that even if we post this tonight, that the launch that is coming is going to be coming tomorrow. So I'm gonna actually just give you the names of the pens that they're being referred to.
Well, it was on Instagram. They're
totally showing like that it's going to be fish related, but like it'll be out by tomorrow morning.
So what, I can't publish this tonight then?
You can. I'm just saying, like, it's just a matter of like right now 2 hours. So I doubt they're going to be upset if we just say what the names are going to be. So
because it'll be after midnight by the time this gets published. I have to edit it and all that stuff, and they have to listen to it. They have to listen an hour in, and then so let's hear the names.
So 2 new Schuylkill colors. Ready for the first one? Beta Mint. Mint. Second one, Cichlid Purple. There you go.
So are cichlids even purple though? I don't think I've seen them.
There was one that they found on the. I guess.
Can you share the screen that you just looked at with everyone watching, so that way we're not wondering what the fuck you're looking at?
Let me see. Just gonna see if I could share this on here. Hold on one second. Do that. Share screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beta Mint.
Beta Mint.
Ooh. Oh, that is gorgeous. That definitely looks like mint. I don't see the beta connection.
White swirls. Somewhat like pearlescent, translucent, little-ish on both ends. But,
I'm a fan.
Nice. It's very refreshing, very minty.
Very, very minty.
Then this is the Cichlid. The Cichlid Purple is really nice. It is like cosmic swirl, purple, blue, crazy stuff. It's nice, and it's got rose gold trim on it as well. So
I really want to say that I'm really into these names and these. I'm obviously a fish keeper, and Frank is also, like I said, he's been a fish keeper for a very long time. He bred his own cichlids. That was actually the betta green. I don't get that. Like, never seen a green betta before, but hey, who cares? I like that he's incorporating
fish names,
fish keeping with fountain pens. I love it. I wanna actually. So that's right. I was gonna mention this. Pen Chalet. Somebody from Pen Chalet reached out to me and is sending me a pen. I don't know what they're sending me, but they want me to do some sort of a drawing using the pen, and to help Pen Chalet's business and stuff like that. And Ronnie's a good guy. I love the guy, and I totally will. I'm down for that. So what I'm going to draw is something that merges fish keeping and fountain pens. Okay. So you'll see what it is. I'm not telling anybody because I don't want anybody to steal my idea. No, it's not really that clever, so I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to combine. I'm going to call it Nibs and Nibs and Fish or Fish and Nibs.
Fish and Nibs.
That's Fish and Nibs.
Oh, like fish and chips, fish and nibs.
Yeah,
that
Fish
sort
and
of
Nibs.
thing?
So
Okay.
I'm going to draw a betta fish with all the fins being nibs.
Interesting.
Yeah, so like the top fin is going to be a big flowing nib. The side swimmy fins are going to be nibs. Every fin is going to be
It's
a
going to
nib.
have all sorts of nibs just
nibs,
sticking out
right?
of it.
Yeah. And I'm gonna pencil it. I was thinking about I'm gonna time lapse the whole thing, and then use the pen using a black ink, like a permanent black, like platinum
Like
or
a
Noodlers.
like a churro, Chu Kuro.
Yeah. I'm not gonna time it right. I'm not gonna be able to get that ink before the pen shows
Nah,
up.
I'm just joking. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm probably gonna use platinum black or Noodlers black. Actually, you know what? I just realized I don't have a bottle of platinum black. I'm gonna have to use Noodlers, and then I'm gonna ink it. I'm not gonna color it. Can't color. I'm not like Vanessa. She's fantastic and brilliant at coloring. And same thing with eBear, man. Dude.
It's just some awesome stuff.
Yo, my God, yeah. Between the two of them, like if I were rich and I had to hire somebody to draw shit, it would be one of them. It would be the both of them or one or the other, and I wouldn't know.
Well, I'm not rich, but I do hire them to do stuff.
Yeah, but you have a
the
fucking
stickers.
business that
Yeah, but
you
it's-
have expenses for.
I love the fact that I can do it.
Yeah,
Because it just like to see them make these things that come out of my head come into life, and I just say just do this, and then it be far beyond like what I was even thinking was possible.
you
And
know
it's
what
just
it is
amazing.
also that I find really cool about when I ask eBear or Vanessa, and they haven't charged me, and I feel bad about that. I should definitely pay them for their artwork. Is when I ask them to draw stuff, they'll draw something for me, and it's basically the representation of their perspective of what you have in mind. You know what I mean? So it's not a representation of what you perceive; it's their perception. And it's almost like looking at you through their eyes. It's craziest psychedelic thing I'm talking about. It doesn't make any sense, but try to follow me here. When eBear or Vanessa draws something based on something that you created, that you didn't even draw, and they do, you're actually borrowing their eyes to see yourself. You're looking at yourself through them. It's kind of crazy, right? It's like even with the betta fish that's hanging above my head here that eBear painted, and there's also the Ellie that is you can't see it because it's I had to rearrange the whole office, but I'm gonna actually hang it right about where my finger is, right? It's his perception of the thing that I have in my head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And which is great. What's great about art is it broadens your mind. That's how it broadens your mind. It makes you see the perception of something that you already perceived differently. And I think that I just find that really cool.
Again, deep, man.
I
Getting
know.
into the deep, yeah.
That's
Getting
what
into the
happens
weeds.
when you eat right before the podcast and you have this energy burst, right? I was
Oh,
eating
so
my
we have another a piece of business to attend to before we wrap things up.
Talk to me.
And that relates to a non-fish related pen that is now it's coming in. I think you know what I'm talking about. The one that is green. We could maybe discuss that and figure out when we're actually what we're going to do to release it, or you know what I'm saying? I think we've teased it before on the podcast too. We've talked about it.
Right. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? What?
The Bennu.
Oh, okay, yeah. So this is a conversation we should probably have because there's a write up for that, but not this week. So
Right.
we would have to
Well,
talk about
it's not
that.
a sponsorship read, but but we have to figure out when we're going to launch it, and what we're going to do for it and stuff. So yeah. 'cause
So
it'll be fun.
let's end the episode here, and we'll talk about it after the episode, so I know what the fuck you're talking about, and then you can stop talking in code like
Okay.
a fucking weirdo. This isn't like national security. You gotta just
Yeah,
send
well,
the bin.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, I know that like sometimes we're like, oh, well, why do we have to be so secretive about it? Why don't we just talk about it? So I was kind of thinking, like, okay, well, we could just start talking about it if you want, or if you don't want to,
well, listen, I don't
it out.
like, for me, it's an exclusive, very fucking cool green skull and roses. It's really fucking awesome. It's a green skull and roses, and it's exclusive through Goldspot. I don't mind talking about it. I don't think it's fucking state secrets here. It's not. We're not talking nuclear launch codes. I don't give a shit. I don't think people knowing about it is going to suppress the interest. I just don't know if, since you guys are handling all the logistics on it, are you guys okay talking about it?
I'm okay in teasing it for right now. Okay. And I can even I'll show pictures too. Even do that just to be able to show that.
Can you? Are you going to share it, or are we going to play that? We're going to pretend to be the CIA and we can't talk about a pen. Oh, so that looks pretty fucking hot.
Yeah, they threw some amazing photography at Bennu. Awesome stuff.
You know what's funny is, if I threw the green screen chroma keying on this thing, the only thing that would show are the roses.
The roses.
No, but that looks sweet, man. I can't wait to get my hands on that. That thing is shipping right now from Albania, right?
Actually, it arrived from Armenia, and
Armenia.
So I think they just checked it in today, so it's actually at the office.
Oh, nice.
So we have to figure out, because like, one of these things is that we just never know, especially with delivery, how it's been worldwide delivery, is like when things are coming in. So it actually came in reasonably quickly. So now we have a bit of a I guess production scheduling issue, where we actually have there's another Bennu pen that we made, also exclusive, that haven't talked about previously, but it is also a very awesome pen. But we have to figure out, because we don't want to like do them both at the same time. So now we have to figure out, it's like, well, when are we going to do this pen? Are we going to do it like this week, next week, whatever? But like, there's so many things going on already, so we have to figure out when's a good time to do it.
Yeah, and that's all. That's really up to you and Kieran.
Well, I think first though is that we should really get one out to you, so you could check it out.
That'd be good.
And just make sure that it passes the PenBoyRoy litmus test.
Because I might be like, dude, this doesn't look like the pictures. Send it all fucking back.
It could have a center band that is just slightly misaligned.
Like instead of a skull on the center band, like they have like dicks. I'd be like, no, this cannot go out. That's it.
The dick and roses. I mean, it could work. Yeah. I don't know. It could be something new. So
that looks really good. Yeah.
It's really sharp.
It's really nice.
It's like the perfect green too, I think, for this design.
Well, yeah, I gave them the, you know how like every color has numbers associated with it?
Yes.
So I went online and I picked out the green that I thought was perfect, and I sent them that number. And then
are we talking the hexadecimal?
I don't fucking know. I screenshotted the green and I sent it to them. It had a number on it, and that's what they came up with, and I like it.
That's such a sharp green.
Yeah, I think
very nice.
I think that's the greatest and best green pen ever created in the history of anything green ever created ever. Yeah, man.
It's pretty sharp.
Yeah.
It's very, very sharp.
What's it going to cost?
I'll get it out to you.
Okay.
It's going to be, I think it's just about $160, I think it is.
No, it can't be that much, really.
Yeah. The Skull and Roses, they're not cheap pens. You know, I mean, you look at all the detail that's on there. It's not it's not your very straightforward type of pen.
No, I hear that, but 160. Well, I mean, I'm sure that they can. I'm sure coupon codes apply, right? I'm on the side of the consumer.
Coupon code.
Garfield. Well, by the time we release it, might be something else. Right? Because you like to fucking change this shit up. I don't know how people can keep track.
Wasn't my idea.
Whose idea was it? It definitely wasn't mine.
It was Sal's idea. It's all his
fault.
It
was Sal's idea?
Yeah.
Sal comes up with all these ideas.
He's got so many.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're good ideas.
Sometimes not. But here's the thing, though. He's the kind of guy that if he comes up with an idea, but he comes up with so many of them, you could just say, like, yeah, man, we'll do that. Then don't do it. And then he'll never remember that he came up with the idea.
That is, like, sometimes he comes up with these ideas for, like, entire companies or websites. And he's just like, this is the greatest thing ever since I thought about it at lunch, and let's just go and do it. And it's like, on to the next thing.
Yeah. So maybe we should run the coupon code for quarterly. That's what I'm thinking, instead of monthly. Monthly is because like if somebody is behind two weeks of episodes because life got in the way, guess what?
Yeah,
they're sitting there with the wrong coupon code.
Yeah,
yeah, that can frustrate
I get it.
people.
I think we could, because it is from a logistical point of view, customer service side. It is a little bit difficult to keep up with it because you know, you have to know what coupon code is currently in season,
right?
And and sometimes, like you said, people have the old one and not have the new one at the moment. So,
yeah, or they know of another coupon code from another influencer that never changes, right? Because that exists, and they'll just revert to that. So that to me is like, well, now you're diminishing my effect on your market because you're changing the rules for me but not for everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
I gotcha.
So I was thinking about that. I didn't gripe about it because I didn't want to, you know, sound like I'm complaining, and I didn't want to talk about it in front of people. But since it came up organically, I guess, you know, don't tell anybody I told you that, though.
Well, there was the two. I know which ones you're referring to, and they are so the ones that we do for the podcast are ones that are obviously public in a way that they're out there, and if somebody listens to the podcast, they find it. But there's two of them that are for people that for influencers, particularly for Mike from Ink Dependence, and then also for Brad from Pen Addict, that they're given to if for people who like subscribe to their like exclusive like Patreon, or like Brad has his like own membership for Pen Addict, in which case that's behind it's behind it's private. Yeah, so there's so it's not like on a website somewhere where just anybody could go and find it. This is only specifically given to those people that support.
Right, but there are ones that you can just go to a website and find. That's what I'm saying.
Well, if that was the case, and we saw that was being done, like we have removed them before. So this was what was happening with the theirs don't end up finding their way on, I guess, because of the fact that people know that they paid for it, you know, through the support of the Patreon or subscription, that like they don't decide to go and throw them up on like all the forums and stuff like that. But for example, with the podcast, the other day I was looking at a Reddit post where somebody was like, "Hey, does anybody have a new coupon code from the podcast, because the beta doesn't work because it stopped working. We didn't do the podcast episode last week." So I actually ended up emailing a person directly and said, "Hey, it's Garfield," just to give you a heads up. So but yeah. So I think what you said, quarterly, may end up being that nice compromise between what Sal wants and what, you know, it's just something that's easier for people to
because I don't want to frustrate people either. For me, I'd be like, you know what, fuck this, you know, I'm not using it. I'm
not jumping through hoops for this nonsense.
I can, you know, and they're trying to help. People are trying to help me out by using my coupon code and affiliate link. I don't want to make it difficult on them. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them to do extra work. So I don't know what to name my fish. So at that, I'm going to say,
name my fish.
Name my fish. Email me. I'll post a picture on Instagram.
That's going to be the title of this week's episode. Name my fish.
Yeah, name my fish. No, because then people are going to look at it and think, "Oh my god, another episode where he talks about fish." We can call the episode.
But for real though, what kind of expectation is that? Realistic expectation? Yes.
No, we talked about pens a lot today. We talked fucking Monteverdi up the wazoo. Hey, how about this? Name the title "Fish and Nibs" or "Nibs and Fish." Nibs and Fish.
Okay.
Nibs and Fish.
Yeah, we could do that.
Nibs and Fins.
Nibs
and Fins.
Yep.
I like that. Nibs and Fins.
We should get one of those fish influencers, or like one of the people who do like the fish aquarium stores on YouTube and get them in, and then that would be truly Fins and Nibs right there.
They're not. They're too big. They won't even touch this.
Oh, come on.
Like, think about it. Let me put it in perspective. The YouTubers, like Aquarium Co-op, like, just listen, they got like almost 1 million subscribers. The smaller one is 3 times bigger than Brian Goulet. You know what I mean?
So for this, to appear on podcasts like this, it would be like a bottom feeding opportunity. It wouldn't really be. Yeah. They're more higher up on the food chain than we are.
Yeah. They won't. They probably wouldn't even talk to me or respond to an email unless it was like, "Hey, a plant I ordered is dead." Then they'll respond, "Oh, we'll send you another one." You know, that kind of thing. So yeah. But who knows? We'll try, like KG Tropicals or Aquarium Co-op. Anybody from Aquarium Co-op, or who's really good?
What was his name? Constantine, or the guy at the store that you were at just before. Just have him come up to and you could just come and do the podcast. The guy from the aquarium store.
From
or whatever
Fish
his name
USA.
was. Yeah. Just have him come over. It's like, hey, you want to be on a podcast? Come with me.
We're going to talk about pens. He's like, I don't know anything about pens. We're going to talk about fish and pens.
Fins and Nibs.
Fins and Nibs. Nibs and fins. Fins and Nibs.
Fins and Nibs. Episode 1.
Fins and Nibs. I like it. We should do that. That's actually not my idea. It's my friend Jeff's idea. I stole it from him.
Get Jeff on the show then. Be like, I originated the idea with Fins and Nibs. Here we go.
Fins and Nibs, yeah.
Yep.
I like it. Anyway, it's about that time. It's getting late. Thanks again for joining us for episode number 160 of the PenBoyRoy Entertainment Podcast. I love you guys. Be well. Be safe.
Stay inky. And don't forget your fins.